The Canadian Card Collector here, and welcome back to day 359 of Daily Deck Review. And the deck that we're taking a look at today is the Orbit 7th Edition Playing Cards. So, no further ado, let's take a look and see what we get. So here we have the Orbits, the 7th Edition, in a matte finish tuck box. It's like more of like a blue, like a darker blue matte finish tuck box. There you got the little white border going around. You got the orbit there in the middle with a little orbit circle. And then you kind of got like a little gradient kind of pattern here, and then a little grid pattern at the bottom. One side you got the little corporate information, distributed by orbitbrand.com and made in the USA, illustrated by Daniel Schneider. Other side says 7th edition. On the bottom, you got that classic orbit circle, and then you got a little rainbow in it, and instead of a little spaceship, you got a little DeLorean there. On the back, a little sneak peek of that back design. For the seal, you got like a blue, just like a square with rounded edges there, and then you got the little orbit circle there in the middle, and that kind of pink hue, a little bit of like a purple kind of like hue to it. And then on the top is you got the classic 23 there. On the tuck flap, it says, "The deeper you gaze into the cosmos, the harder it is to look back." And it says, "Persist and endure" in that kind of pink font with little stars in the background. On the tuck flaps, or in your tuck flaps, you got a pair of 3D glasses, and you got a little satellite. And if we take the cards out of the box, on the inside tuck box, it is fully custom. And if you know about the V7s, the 7th edition, like the parallel edition of the 7th edition, this is what the tuck box looks like. So the tuck box, it says where this is the tuck box, like the pattern of the tuck box is like similar to this on the inside of the tuck box, which is pretty unique how they added that. And it has a little the orbit Instagram there. There, and you can tell that's like the blue triangles with the orbit logo there. And at the bottom, it says has the classic. If it'll focus, it's probably not going to focus, but it says "We Are Orbit" there at the bottom. It's probably not going to focus, will it? Oh, almost. You can kind of see it there, which says "We Are Orbit." Now it's not going to focus, but you can kind of see it. But now that we took a look at the tuck box, time to take a look at the cards. And first, start with that back design. So we have a mirrored back design with the standard white border going around, and you got that classic orbit circle layer design there in the middle, and it's that big white thick circle there with the pink background circle background, and you kind of got a little space kind of design around it, and it kind of ripples around there. And then you got like the grid pattern on top and the bottom in the pink and blue. So it's a pink and blue kind of style back design there. And you got a little light blue border. And then you got the normal white border around. And it is mirrored, so if you flip it over, same design in both directions. But now for the cards you get with the deck. And here we start with the first Joker. You got the little orbit design there in each corner, and that says Joker there at the top. Then you got the classic astronaut there, and he's on a bicycle. And in the basket, is a little dog there. And you got the little rock that says 23. And the second Joker is an identical Joker there. So there's the same astronaut and dog there on the bicycle. And then you got a double backer of that back design. And then you got a classic extra double Eight of Spades. Then you got the custom Ace of Spades. We got the big spade there. And it's the exact same pretty much as the Joker. So it's just the astronaut and the dog. So you got the astronaut and the dog. It's just the back of them, so the back of their heads there, and they're looking at like Saturn there, and it says persist and endure the orbit deck, the orbitbrown.com 23, and then the rest of the cards are pretty standard. It's just like that standard like orbit font, because they are slightly changed up compared to like regular like bicycle font and stuff like that. And then the numbers in the corner are custom as well. So it's just that classic orbit style and font. Then you got the court cards, Jack, Queen, King of Spades. And they are fully custom. Well, no, I was going to say fully custom. No, they're pretty much the standard design. But if you know the Orbit cards, they have like the custom faces on the core cards. So you can kind of tell that they have some of them have custom core. I don't think the Queen has it, but the King and the Jack have custom faces, and the colorway is like a, a purple, blue, and pink kind of colorway there. And I forgot to mention that the spades are like that dark bluish colorway. And then you have the diamonds, which are that custom orbit font once again. It's more of like a pinkish kind of colorway to it, to the diamonds there. And they're more enlarged, like pips there on the cards. And then the Jack, Queen, King, once again, are they're pretty much the standard shape, just a swapped color with the pinks and the blues there. And then you've got the custom faces on some of the core cards there. Same thing as the clubs, custom colorway, pretty basic design, and then the custom faces. And the clubs are also in that dark blue colorway with a slightly custom font to it. And lastly, the hearts, Jack, Queen, King of Hearts. Same thing, swapped colorway, standard shape, and custom faces for some of the cards. And the hearts are also in that pinkish colorway. But now that we took a look at the cards, time to test the handling. And first we'll start with the springs. Well, I guess they got a nice flex to it. There's definitely not much stiffness to them, which is pretty nice. Well, these were shuffled a few times prior to this review. So they're probably a little bit stiff because every deck straight out of the box has a little bit of stiffness to it. But it just varies between. But these have a nice flex to them though. Super easy to spring, not really too hard. Pretty smooth. Now on to the fans. And as you can see, they spread pretty evenly. You can see most of the pips and numbers. No stickiness or clumpiness to the cards. Now on to the Pharaoh. Well, they interlock and weave pretty nicely, but I did have to slightly push them together to get them to interlock and weave. Now for a giant fan of the back design. And now time for the reverse Pharaoh. And the reverse Pharaoh is definitely a lot more smoother. There, pretty smooth. Now for a giant fan of the faces. And now time for the Riffle Shuffle or Bridge Shuffle. Okay, I don't know if it's like the temperature in the room I'm in or not, affecting the cards a little bit or not, but they seem to be really clumpy. Like Orbit cards are never usually this clumpy. I don't know, there's just something's wrong with it. Yours will definitely not be this clumpy, you just gotta break them in. Like they might be a little clumpy at the beginning. Okay, they're a little more smoother now. I just gotta break them in a little bit. Cards must have been a little bit cold, I guess. So they're probably just a little bit clumpy. But my Riffle Shuffles and Bridge Shuffles are not like the smoothest. There we go. That was a pretty good one. So they're pretty smooth when you actually get when I actually get one to work. But yours wouldn't be this clumpy. It's just mine, like Mine was just a little bit cold or something there, so the cards were a little bit more stiffer. But they're pretty smooth when you have normal riffles there. But now we'll move on to a few packet cuts. Well, pretty smooth packet cuts. They're slippery from time to time because cards can just be slippery and have a mind of their own sometimes. Well, overall, pretty nice. They pack it pretty good though. Pretty standard packet cuts though. Now for that one-handed cut or a Charlier cut. And now time for the dribble. Pretty nice smooth dribbles. You definitely got more grip with the design up. And if you want to know why I keep saying grip on either side, it's the way they're cut. Sometimes the cards are cut differently, like you got a traditional cut or a standard cut or something. I'm not sure exactly what the styles are, but it's either ones that they're cut this way or they're cut this way, so they slightly handle differently compared to which way they're cut. But they're still pretty smooth either way. It's just you have a little less grip this way, but they still work. But now for that spread fan. And lastly, spread the cards on the table. Well, I gotta say, another fantastic deck from Orbit once again. You kind of got like a slightly more futuristic style there with that kind of like grid pattern there. And you got like the pink and like bluish purple kind of colorway. Looks fantastic there. I love that bright pink there for the big circle there. Fantastic. Yeah, it's definitely more unique kind of style, but it's still kind of in the realm of like the space theme that they're going for. And then you got the faces, which are the classic Orbit kind of style, like the font and style there. You still got the Joker with the astronaut on it. And then you got like a pink and like dark blue kind of themed colorway. And the core cards are even those kind of colorways there. Well, fantastic design once again. And for the handling, what you just saw, they're okay. Mine are just a little bit like cold, like the temperature, I guess, affects. Temperature definitely affects the cards. So you more need like a room temperature room, because if they're too cold, then they get a little bit more stiff and kind of slippery. And if it's too hot, then they'll get like sticky and stuff and won't spread as easy. Like the coldness still keeps them nice and spreadable. They're just really slippery and like get a little bit stiff when they're kind of cold. Because when I do the riffles, but the riffles are better now. They're broken in again. But still pretty fantastic handling though. Like just because mine handle one way doesn't mean yours won't will handle the same. Like it, handling varies, but they should still handle pretty similar. Just not as bad as my riffles were. Well, anyways, fantastic design and fantastic handling once again. Can't go wrong with Orbit. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed. This has been day 359 of your daily deck review. This has been the Orbit 7th edition. And I'm the Canadian Calculator signing out. That's the video. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.